empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh no,
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. I want to say hello to everybody. And how's everybody doing tonight on this? I just heard it again. Is there one in this one? Billy. Oh, he's fixing the fire alarm. So y'all don't drive me crazy with it. I want to say hello to Gail, Tree, Frankie, Believe, JJ. Hey, Miss Daisy and everyone. I'm working, but wanted to say hello. Be back later. Okay. Ryan the Gamer, Tree, Donna, Believe. Oh, thank you. Thank you, JJ, for the $3 super sticker. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you, Jay. Thank you so much for that. God bless you. I just read where Tree said justice was not served. Yes, she did get parole, but do I think that she's going to end up keeping parole? I don't know. I don't know if she'll even get out. You know what I'm saying? It's not giving me the opportunity to like Jay's thing. I'm sorry, JJ. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see what else we got in here. We got Believe, Laura P, Gail, Lucky Charms, Frankie, Ryan the Gamer, Ola Diamonds, Wendy, Raising Cane, Miss Daisy, tell him we said thank you for replacing the batteries. Did you hear that, Billy? Billy. Yeah. He heard it. Hello, Myrtle Burke. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. So Leilani got life in prison with possibility of parole. Did you all see Billy Joe's uh, witness statement? I really believe that she truly did feel, I really did feel like she was being honest, Billy Joe, in the witness statement. Hey, Pam. Hey, Polly Pam. What's up? So we're going to go over that tonight, plus a couple other things too. I will say I'm not going to be having panel guests up on my panel tonight. Last time I could not get anything said or done, and I couldn't talk about what I needed to talk about. Hello, Walk the Line. BJ was about herself, in my opinion. A lot of people think that too, including the prosecuting attorney, said that Leilani was acting like the victim. And love you too, Pam. So, how many of y'all want to go back over what the TV on some of the witness statements on her? Now, I think it was bad on her part, maybe, to not speak for herself. But you know what? People might have a little bit of mercy on her if she would have got up and spoke about um, and told the truth about what happened to that baby. But unfortunately, she didn't want to do that. So she could have spoken and said, "Look," and I believe that that's court TV. Sorry, guys, I was getting. Let me put their thing in because I'm going to show their live stream today. Um, but yeah, she could have spoke up and told people. She needed to admit it. I think that things would have been better for her if she would have admitted it. And I don't even think Susan Smith has come forward and admitted hers. Now, Susan Smith, they denied her parole. She was up for parole after 30 years. And I seen the same old fake cry when it came to her versus I want to show y'all Billy Joe's thing. Leilani's crying for herself, but all through the trial, Leilani never cried for Quinton. She's only cried for herself. Don't play people having relations with inmate. What? Oh, diamonds? Did y'all see Dolly in court? Yes, I seen Dolly back there. I was screaming, Dolly! Dolly showed up. You know, Dolly was the only one there, though. The rest of that gang that was down there didn't show up. And Dolly's the only one who went to jail, bless his heart. Daisy, Dolly, and PJ was there in court. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. And that just goes to show you that Dolly stood by what he meant when it comes to baby Quinton, where the other ones didn't bother. Dolly actually did show up, you know, and show support for baby. And you know, the part that bothered me the most too was that nobody spoke on behalf of baby Quinton. Nobody was his voice. Not even Billy Joe spoke up for that baby. Not even Billy Joe. Hey, Fonda Cheese Man. Hello, hello, hello. But I want to show you here. This is the credits to Court TV. This is Billy Joe coming up, speaking about Leilani. I found it interesting that she wants her brother to get her remains of Quinton. Well, hello, always late. Good to see you. I don't even think after she unalived Quentin and threw him in the trash that she should even have rights to his little body. She shouldn't even have rights to his little body. She should have lost all rights to anything to him when she unalived him and throwed him in the trash like a piece of garbage. But she seems to be living in a world outside of herself. Like the prosecuting attorney said, it's almost like she's the victim and she's outside looking in like she's not the one that hurt the baby. And people do that. I've seen people like that do that a lot. They will act like, "Hey, Shauna Martez." They will act like that they're not even a part of something when they're the main characters. So I want to show you. This is Billy Joe and in her court statement. Although she didn't do anything in court the day, when it come to set or to guilty charges or anything, but she did do the statement. It was all about her and Leilani. It really was.
All the questions I have, Miss Madden, Mr. Dean might have some questions for you. Okay.
I can't stand Billy Joe, but I tried watching it. I did a little bit too. Always late. I did too. I'm guilty of it too. I felt like she was really being honest.
Thank you. You may sit
about
down, Miss
how
Madden.
she failed Leilani and the boys.
Billy Joe HARLAN, Your Honor.
I do
Right, Miss
feel
Al?
that she was sincere, but she should have spoke up for baby Quentin. And not once did she speak up for baby Quentin. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I believe just based on what I've seen on the videos of her since this happened, that she still is on substances. That's my opinion, though. Let's see. Agree, Daisy. Her aunt wrote a novel. Yeah, they had to stop her from reading most of it. Hey, Daniel Berry. Okay, here we go. It's Billy Joe. I do believe it did come from her heart, though. I feel like she is guilty.
The information you shall give the court on the issue pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes. Come over
And this is credits to Court TV.
If you would, ma'am, state your name and spell it for the court reporter.
Billy Joe Howell. It's Billy, Billie, Joe, J-O, Howell, Howell.
And you are Miss Simon's mother, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand what we're here for today, correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
And I've asked you to come forward and if you wanted to make a statement on Leilani's behalf, did I not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you understand the court is the only sentence in the state of Georgia on a murder conviction is either life with or life without parole. You understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you still having a chance to address the court and say what's on your mind. Would you like to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you can either speak naturally or I can ask you questions or you can read from a prepared statement if you'd like to, Ms. Howell. Which do you prefer? Not trying to put you on the spot, but you were unsure before.
I am still unsure.
Okay.
I know drugs has taken and had a huge impact on our entire lives. Even as Leilani's childhood, I failed her as a mom. I allowed addiction to take over my life at a young age.
Hey, Debbie Nelson.
And you and your brother were just babies. And you lived with my sister. And I made sure you were okay. And through those times, it was still really hard on you because you wanted your mom. Just like I know they're going to want their mom.
Right, Lori B. Right.
When you come to live with me, I'd already changed my life. and I'd been working really hard. But I had changed my addiction from drugs to work, and I still neglected your needs, your emotional needs. I still wasn't there for you
Thank you,
to be your
Yvonne.
mom.
If you're over 40 and you're not dermaplaning, you're making a big
I
mistake.
know.
This thing has completely won the battle with facial
These
hair.
stupid commercials. Here we go.
My decisions have played an impact on things that have happened in your life.
I wanna say something before we get caught up in Leilani or Billy Joe. What Lori P said. She wasn't crying when she was out partying. That right there is what got me. Is that they were partying. What was it, like a week after, 3 days, 4 days after the baby went missing? They all went partying. See, that makes it look a little different. You know, it, yeah, yeah. Cold hearted, cold hearted.
And there's absolutely nothing I can do to take it away. But I'm working every day, Leilani. Every day between counseling and parenting classes.
But I do
And taking
believe
other classes. Because I want to be better.
I do believe Billy Joe's statement actually had an effect on the judge as far as giving her the opportunity to have parole possibly in the future. Billy Joe doesn't look good. It looks like it's all finally has affected her. Oh yeah, she's got 2 kids in jail, prison for murder. Right, Lori P. Right.
Because I have to believe that it's still not too late. And that we still have a chance. Regardless of what it looks like.
What about little baby Quinton though? What about baby Quinton?
Quinton and the other children changed my life even more. I was so afraid for you that I never let you fail. Always just scooped right in and fixed everything. Which wasn't good for you. It didn't allow you to grow and to be able to make good decisions for yourself. I do take accountability today. Because I should have been a better mom and a better grandma. I should have seen something.
I do agree she is feeling sorry for herself and she did fail her grandkids. I do feel like she does have guilt, a lot of guilt of what happened, but it's not going to change the fact that baby Quinton was not only unalive, probably very brutally, but he was thrown away like trash. Literally thrown in a trash bin. You know, BJ should have been charged with something as well. I agree. And the partying in the backyard every night. Yes. Hey, God is love. Big time PDP. Y'all is you're hardcore. I kind of felt bad for her there for a minute. Sounds fake to me. Too dramatic. I know. I agree. I agree. Hey, Running Bear. BJ should have never left the kids with Leilani after exactly, Running Bear. I agree with that one. I do. Their feelings shouldn't matter. They are guilty. I really believe in my heart that she knew Leilani was violent. She had to know Leilani's violent. And when they say they never seen Leilani hurt that baby, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. Hey, Audria Monroe. Oh, Audria Moore. I'm sorry. Hello. Here we go.
You deserved better. And so do your children. All 3 of them. We might not be able to bring Quinton back, but he needs to come home. And we're all going to hold him one last time. I just want to make it better, Leilani, and I don't know how. All I can do is be here for you and answer every phone call, talk to you and be there. Listen, really listen. I'm really listening.
The fact of the matter,
I love you, and we're going to get
you know, some things that you do, you can't take back. Some things that you say, you can't take back. And when you take the life of another human being, whether it's your child, grandchild, or whoever, that child's life is gone forever. Well, Nora Woods. Nora said, I despise this cake. I mean, I don't blame you. Put money on her commissary. Oh, thank you, Nora Woods. Thank you for being a member for 26 months. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being a member. God bless you. Leilani cried for her mom, but not her child. Exactly. Quinton is barely even mentioned at all in this. Hey, official team moms. Thank you. God bless you. All right, here we go, y'all.
through it because I raised you to know that I love you unconditionally. And today I do not put conditions on that
What about Quinton?
because I love you.
What about Quinton?
I love
What
I
about?
love you, Leilani.
Okay, I think Leilani knows that her mom loves her. I think, like she said, that she always covered up for Leilani and protected her and not let her fall. Well, that's what she's doing right now. Instead of instead of speaking up for baby Quinton, she is babying Leilani. And I know it's hard because Leilani is probably her baby and she probably sees a baby in Leilani. I see baby Quinton in Leilani. When I look at Leilani, I see baby Quinton because that baby looked identical to her. And that's sad. And why hasn't Billy Joe spoke up for him?
Let me ask some questions. Did you ever see? We heard a lot of this during the trial. Was there ever any of this favoritism towards Zane or Sky, or Quinton was the outcast?
No, sir. Never.
Okay. And did you ever see Leilani maltreat or withhold food from Quinton?
Never.
Okay. And you understand the sentence is what
Yes,
be
sir.
life without or life with. And do you think that Leilani is so far gone she should get a life without parole sentence?
No, I don't. Because I wasn't so far gone. I'm not. And I refuse to let somebody make me believe that I am.
Never murdered your child.
I may be too late for a lot of things, but I'm here today.
She never murdered her child like her daughter did. Oh, thank you, Debbie Nelson. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for bringing us together for a new verdict, Daisy. It's been a while. Love you. Thank you, Debbie. God bless you. Woohoo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you, Debbie, for that. Let me like it and love it. Thank you for supporting my channels, Miss Debbie. Let me thank you on here too. But yeah, it's a shame. Thank you, Debbie. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go.
I'm here.
So you're asking the court to impose a life with parole sentence, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to say before Mr. Dean asks you some questions?
No, sir.
That's all the questions I got, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Hilliard.
Were you born between 1969 and 1979?
Uh-oh.
If so, you can get a Le Creuset cookware set completely
I
free.
wish I could. I wish that was true. I like Le Creuset.
You're her mom.
Yes.
Since day one, you have And I mean, day one of the investigation, Quinton being reported missing,
Yes,
you had been there for her.
yes,
You were out of town when it happened, but you came back quickly.
yes,
You have talked to her a lot, right?
yes,
But before she was ever arrested and since she's been jailed, right?
yes,
Is she, you understand the jury has now convicted her of murdering Quinton with intent to kill him. Do you understand that?
yes, I do.
12 neutral,
Y'all see Dolly?
unbiased citizens
There was Dolly, y'all.
taking a cold look at the evidence and said that is what happened here, beyond a reasonable doubt. You get that, right?
Yes, sir.
In all of the conversations you've had with her, has she ever taken responsibility for doing that?
No, she hasn't. But she has taken responsibility for her drug use.
I know that you've taught
Only
her
because she's in
to
jail.
take responsibility for her actions. Because when she says in the news interview, if it comes out that I'm responsible, I'll take responsibility. And she said that separately another time to the police. And I believe that that is coming from your upbringing of her. Do you think that's fair?
Yes, sir, I do.
Has she ever actually done it in this case, though?
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't admitted to you that she killed Quinton.
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't told you how.
No, sir.
She's said things to you about, well, I just don't remember and I'm not sure and I'm trying to piece it together and things like that, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that the evidence has just not been consistent with that kind of claim? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
That, evidence shows that she made this very calculated drive to the dumpsters, scattered rice cereal in her car, drafted a text message.
There's Dolly, y'all. Look at Dolly. Yes, Debbie Nelson, this is the first time. The most I've seen her cry, Leilani, is for herself. Not for baby Quinton, but for herself. And she is crying tears for herself. BJ, why didn't you testify for Quinton at trial? You condone such behavior. Disgusting. I agree. That I do. Look at Dolly, y'all.
Danny about what she was supposedly doing on that trip, getting Oragel, told a bunch of lies about it to the police, right?
Yes, sir. I watched the trial.
And none of that is consistent with her just not knowing what happened. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. But even still, despite all the conversations you've had, and despite you being her mother, the person that she had confide in, she hasn't even taken responsibility privately in confidence to you.
No, she hasn't.
Is that frustrating to you?
Yes, it is.
Do you wish she would just come out and admit to you as her mother what she did?
Yes. Yes, I do.
One moment, please. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Mr. Hilliard.
I'm a little confused, Ms. Howell, because being convicted of something doesn't necessarily mean you did it, does it?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't.
So if you're convicted of something you didn't do and you don't admit to it, it doesn't mean you did it. I mean, just because you're convicted of it.
That's correct.
Any questions?
Oh my God, Yvonne.
So being convicted of something is not the same thing as admitting something you actually did now, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can be convicted of something you didn't do, right?
Yes, sir.
You can be acquitted of something you did do, right?
Yes, sir.
And there's all manner of things in between, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all the questions I got.
Anything?
Let's wait till this to skip it over. Here we go.
Ms. Howell, you may step down.
I'll tell you what, the prosecuting attorney gets them. He tells it, man. I'm gonna see if we can go to his part here. That guy gets on my nerves, but the prosecuting attorney, when he gets up here and talks about Leilani, man, oh man. Okay, here it is. I want y'all to hear it. He's telling the truth here.
I'll start with the big picture of what the evidence shows, both through the trial and then the evidence that we've added today. Just a few simple bullet points here. The defendant didn't like Quinton. There's credible evidence of that. Jury evidently found it credible. Had some witnesses come in and dispute that today, but I would submit that they are not the most objective sources of information on that. Her dislike for Quinton was not a result of any drug problem. It's totally independent of that. If you combine the testimony of Melanie Bowling and Talia McCarta and Michelle McCarta, it spanned his entire life. Has nothing to do with drugs whatsoever. She murdered him. And the jury has found that she had the specific intent to kill when she did so. And this sets this case apart from cases in which the jury only makes a finding of guilt on felony murder, but acquits on malice murder. This jury does not do that. And there's a great deal of aggravation. Some of the aggravation is charged as independent offenses, concealing the death and false statements and false report of a crime and so forth. Some of it is not. The aggravation includes her covering it up in a deliberate, calculating, and very manipulative way. It involved totally shameless and reprehensible attempts to blame people without conscience, right? Just no compunction about blaming other people who were totally innocent of this and who, in fact, loved Quinton very much. She behaved in a way that shows a total lack of remorse, both during the investigation, when on day one, she's asking Paul, hey, do you got some weed to smoke when we get home? On October 18th, when the police have announced that they're about to start searching for Quinton's little body in the landfill, she's out at Stingray's getting drunk and flirting with the waiter in a continuation of what we talked about at trials, to kind of what the theory was here, that a lot of this had to do with her need for male attention. This seems to have continued. She behaved in a way that shows absolutely no remorse and no compunction about what she did during her pretrial investigation and during the trial itself, as we've tried to show here today. Even to her mother, her closest confidant, who taught her to take responsibility for your actions, which is something that Billie Joe Howell, has done. I mean, she did it here today. She talked about all of her missteps and how she pulled herself out of them. She took no responsibility even to her mother, who taught her those things and was her close confidant. It's one thing to not admit to the police what you did and not take any responsibility to the police. It's kind of another thing to treat your mother, whom you claim to love so much, the same way. The upshot of all this is that she just doesn't seem sorry at all. She really doesn't seem sorry. She seems sorry that she got caught. She seems sorry that she had to stand trial. She seems sorry that she's going to go to prison for a long time. The only question here is whether it's forever for her.
Preach it.
But she doesn't really seem sorry about what she did. If she had been sorry about this at any point, there were a million off-ramps. After killing Quinton, she could have just not thrown his body in a dumpster. We get these abusive head trauma, child homicide cases. In typically, the fact pattern is the perpetrator does the thing, they do the act, and then they just say to the police, "Oh, I found him in the crib like this, and I don't know why he's not breathing, or there was some sort of accident or something like this." She could have played it that way after killing Quinton. She could have. So that's like off ramp number one, is just don't throw him in the dumpster. Don't do that.
Where's Dolly again?
And at any time, she could have stopped telling lies, just refused to talk at all. Certainly didn't have to blame anybody else. She could have just said she didn't know. Certainly didn't have to blame like 3 or 4 different people. So she doesn't seem sorry at all. And she's taken no responsibility. And she seems to sort of think that she's kind of at least playing as though she's the victim.
Amen.
I would ask the court.
Yes. she is playing like she's the victim. And you'll hear him talk about how she's pretending that it's not her that unalived this baby. It really kills me when she says, I want my baby. Death penalty and life without parole doesn't seem to exist anymore. I know. Here we go, y'all. Listen to what he has to say. He's speaking facts.
To look at this letter to WTOC and really read it, in which she's playing the role of like a detached commentator evaluating the evidence. And she'd sure love to know what happens. But, the problem is she just keeps running into these gaps in the evidence. And that's really frustrating to her because she wants to know what happened. And it's just so infuriating and bizarre because, obviously she knows what happened because she's the one who did it.
Yes,
It is bizarre. It is infuriating. And it is quite frankly insulting to everyone's intelligence, and really makes a mockery of the process. There's been this effort to blame it on drugs. And
I'm going to play that again because he spoke facts right there. I do think the judge felt sorry for her and gave her parole. But when he said the way she was acting, it's like during the trial, when they showed baby Quinton's bones, she looked at it like she didn't think could that have been his bones? Is that really his bones? You know what I'm saying? Like she was this big, instead of bawling her eyes out, seeing her baby's bones in pieces, she was looking like she was a detective trying to figure out what she's looking at. So I'm going to play this again, what he has to say about her. Here we
mental
go.
health issues. Mr. Hilliard is too smart and savvy and experienced to try to do that directly, because I think he knows that you don't come in and say, Judge, it was the drugs. But some of the witnesses maybe don't have that level of experience and were willing to just say it was the drugs. The drugs did it. To medicalize it, to kind of shift responsibility from her onto her conditions or these substances. Lots of people have tough upbringings. Lots of people take drugs, but very few of them kill their own child.
Amen.
We're familiar with words like homicide, killing somebody else, suicide, killing yourself, fratricide, killing your brother, or biological, or your brother in arms, even infanticide. There's a word for this the court may or may not know: filicide, killing your own child who's not an infant. A lot of people don't know that word. And the reason a lot of people don't know that word is it just doesn't happen often. It is a heinous thing to do. So heinous, in fact, that people do it very infrequently. And that's what she did. The drugs did not do that. I'll point out something about the drugs in this case. It's easy for people to get up there and kind of say, without really examining like how this would work or what this really means, is, oh, the drugs caused her to do it. Let's look at the substances that she was on that night: cocaine, Percocet, marijuana. None of these substances are the kind of substances that are going to induce like a psychosis and essentially turn you into a different person or make you do something that you have no control over. You hear about that sort of thing, I guess, like bath salts and things like that. But that is just that's not what she was on. It wasn't anything like that. And it's a total red herring to say that the drugs did it. What she did to him was something that was inside of her already. It was inside of her already.
Amen.
Maybe the drugs lowered her inhibitions.
Amen.
Maybe they acted as an accelerant. Maybe they're like, the match to the candle or something like that. But they didn't cause her to do what she did. She did it.
Whoa!
Yes.
How do you sleep at night?
On a mattress from Mattress Firm.
All right, hang on. Here we go.
responsible for it. She is. She just did a wicked thing, and she needs to take responsibility for it. And so our recommendation is a total sentence of life without the possibility of parole, plus 65 years and a fine of $117,000. The maximum that I calculate is available under the law. I've emailed the court separately that the count by count breakdown. I won't go through that here. And the justification for the fine. That is essentially our goal there is to ensure that if the defendant ever attempts to profit from her crimes by signing a book deal or taking a paid interview, that there will be an existing financial obligation that will cause at least some of the money, up to $117,000, to be diverted to defray some of the costs associated with her conduct in this case.
She don't need to profit a darn.
That brings me to kind of the last question, which is really separate and apart from whether the court judges a fine here, is why life without parole and not life? That's really the only question, is whether the court is going to impose the additional punishment of the life sentence never being parolable. And you know, it's a reasonable thing for the defense to say, gosh, life is a serious sentence. 30 years before you become parole eligible is a long time. And that's true. And we are here asking the court to go above that and to impose the maximum. And I'd like to kind of defend why and argue why. When we talk about sentencing, we talk about the principles of punishment. There are a number of them. We learn them in law school, and they come up in sentencing arguments. And Mr. Hilliard has gestured at some of them, rehabilitation and things like that. And I'll just
at some point, this guy picks his nose again. Did you guys see that? Yes, but at some point that guy does. Dang. Oh, she. But yeah, at some point that guy picks his nose again during this trial. But yeah, let's finish it up, y'all. I just want to make a point of that.
Kind of walk through these. One of the principles of punishment that we talk about is incapacitation, which is incapacitating the offender from committing a similar offense. Somebody is so dangerous, they just need to be locked up to keep them off the street. Now, can I say that incapacitation, the need for incapacitation, justifies the additional sentence of life without parole here? Not really. I don't think that principle of punishment is a justification that she's so dangerous that life with the possibility of parole is not sufficient. Next, we have deterrence, both specific and general. Specific deterrence meaning the need to have a serious enough sentence that it deters her from doing something similar, and general deterrence, that it deters other people in the community who might contemplate doing the same thing.
There he goes.
Doing it. I don't know that that's really important.
There he goes. Watch him. He'll start picking his nose again. I believe this is the part where he does it.
I don't think she needs life without parole versus life to not do it again. And I don't know that there's anybody out there who's contemplating killing their child who's going to go through with it if she gets life without the possibility of parole, but won't go through with it if she gets life without the possibility of parole. And then we have rehabilitation.
Maybe not. Maybe this wasn't the one where you're doing it.
I cannot say that there's no chance she could be rehabilitated, that she's totally beyond rehabilitation. I think the court could reasonably find that. I think there's a lot of evidence here that she is incorrigible. But I can't say for sure that after 30 years, she's so beyond the hope of rehabilitation that she has to stay in on that basis, that she just can't be rehabilitated. And so where we end up is at the last principle of punishment that I know of, and that is retribution. Punishment because you deserve it. A harsh punishment because you deserve it by virtue of what you did and how you acted. Not dressed up as being, towards rehabilitation or towards deterrence, but just punishment as a matter of moral desert. This sometimes gets a bad rap. I've heard it
punishment.
described as the least
Absolutely.
morally defensible principle.
Oh, there he is picking his nose again. Absolutely. Just because it's punishment. She unalived her child. She needs to be held responsible for unaliving her child. He's picking his nose again, y'all.
Punishment. That somehow
He's really picking
punishment
his nose again.
dressed up as being for rehabilitation or being
There he
for
goes.
deterrence is somehow morally acceptable.
There he
That
goes.
punishment simply because you deserve it because of what you did. But I don't think that's right.
Nose.
I don't think that's right. For one, it is the principle of punishment that, to the state's view, most lines up with the average person's intuition about what punishment is for and their concept of justice. It is actually okay and right and good to punish people harshly simply because they deserve it and not justify it further. You have to get really educated to learn that universal moral intuition is actually a bad
Y'all
thing
really believe he
or somehow wrong.
Y'all, I hate to laugh
Now-
during this, but I swear this man likes his boogers or something because he's always picking his snout, y'all. He's sneaking it into his mouth. Oh, that's the first thing I noticed when I was watching this earlier, is that he was picking his nose again. I guess he doesn't realize he's being recorded doing it. But yes, guys, everything this guy's saying is the truth.
We sometimes kind of accept that what people say about retributive punishment is true, that it is less defensible than the other principles of punishment. But there's not a consensus on this. That is actually not the consensus view. There are a lot of very smart academics and legal philosophers who continue to defend and make the case for retribution. There's an article by a legal academic, Dan Markle. He's a professor at Florida State Law School. Coincidentally and tragically, he was actually murdered himself. But he wrote on retributive punishment. In a 2011 article that I found, he talks about how it has both a communicative
function. Her
function.
out for her BS, didn't they? When he called her out for playing the victim role, them tears they dried up real fast, y'all, real fast. Okay, he's almost done, and then we'll get to the sentencing.
Function and an expressive function. That punishment, retributive punishment, because you deserve it, a harsh sentence, just because you deserve it and you did a really bad thing,
really
communicates
bad thing
to the defendant the seriousness of what they did and society's lack of acceptance for it.
He called her out.
And it performs an expressive function too. It communicates to the defendant the seriousness of what she did. And it forms an expressive function. It expresses to society how seriously the court takes behavior like this. And, I've got some long quotes in here from these articles. I think I will not read them. I think I will just kind of restate that in my words. Another way of saying this is that a severe sentence, here the harshest one under the law is what we're asking for, sends a message to both her and to the community. And she needs the message. Quite frankly, she needs the message. She doesn't get it. She needs to receive a solemn statement from the court that for an offense like this and for aggravating circumstances like this, the only punishment that will do, the only punishment that will adequately get through to her the seriousness of what she's done and just how unacceptable her actions are, is the maximum sentence under the law. That appears to be, at this point, the only thing that the court can do to try to get through to her. This letter to WTOC is dated September of this year. She still doesn't get it. And the court should send her a message. One, this is nonsense. And two, you deserve the most severe sanction that the court can lay on you.
What kind of letter was it?
The court should send the community a message too.
This guy don't play. He should be a judge.
To the people that cared about Quinton, who knew him during his life, he was a child in their lives, and the people who came to know him only after the defendant killed him. And why do these people care about him? Simply because he was a child in their community, and that is enough. The court should send a message to them that their intuition about how monstrous it is for a mother to kill her own child and then act like she acted in the aftermath, and what the price tag for that ought to be, that intuition that they have is entirely correct and is shared by the justice system and by the court.
I want to see what Danny said. She does not get it. Neither did the rest of them. It was not just drugs. I like that he said what he said. I do too. He called her out. He called her out what we were thinking. He was thinking the same thing we're thinking. But he called her out, and he should be a judge, because I feel like the judge was a little lenient on her, and she didn't deserve it. Not after the way that, she just acted like it didn't matter that baby Quinton was in a trash pile. Like when everybody was out looking for that baby in the heat and exposing themselves to god-awful things, she was out partying. Quinton does deserve justice. Amen.
Which is really their justice system and their court. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Dean, I was looking for the email, and I believe the computer that I'm looking at has not updated. And I would like to have that before me. Would you also pass up? Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we'll go on to the sentencings. Hey, Pixie guys. Hey, where's Pinky's rumor has it at? I have not seen her or talked to her today much. She's not answered my
Okay.
phone. So get ready
I'm
to-
going to pronounce sentence.
This
Please stand.
is- Hey, Alice. Okay, guys, they're getting ready to give her her sentence. It was a win for the defense today. Daisy, that prosecutor has totally different job now, but they allowed him to finish this case. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. It's buffering a lot. The wicked storm is moving in. If I disappear, I'll be back. Yeah, my internet's been acting up as well. Is it buffering on here too, guys? Because if it is, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been snowing here a little bit. Not like it is in Kentucky, but it's snowing. So let's see her reaction. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
The one thing that I will say before pronouncing sentence is clearly little Quinton Simon's life and death impacted many, many individuals, but also the community at large.
And see that
Leilani Maurice.
that to me she didn't say much about Quinton. And I've seen a lot of judges speak up on the behalf of the daughter, the victim. And she really didn't. She didn't address baby Quinton very much. And like Adam Montgomery's judge, man, she went through his whole crime history and told him exactly what he did to his baby. And I didn't get that with this judge. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the judge should have talked more about baby Quinton than, I don't know. It's sad. She just kind of briefly talked about baby Quinton and then went on to the sentences. And I wish that she would have went into his life and what little time he lived, you know, and everything. But she just kind of swept over it. They all just kind of swept over baby Quinton, y'all. I don't know what Billy Joe stand for. She just wanted to let all of her guilt out, I guess, that she felt. But where's the voice for baby Quinton? Where is his voice? I guess the prosecuting attorney was only ones that was his voice. Because the judge just barely even spoke about him. All right, here we go.
Simon, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, felony, life with the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 3, felony murder is vacated by operation of law. Count 4, concealing the death of another, 10 years consecutive to count 1. Count 5, false report of a crime is a misdemeanor, 12 months concurrent to count 4. Count 6, making a false statement, 5 years
I don't
concurrent
get
with count 4.
Go ahead. Oh.
Count 7, making a false statement concurrent with count 4, 5 years. Count 8, false statement, 5 years consecutive with, concurrent with count 4. Count 9, making a false statement, 5 years concurrent with count 4.
Why is Billy Joe
Count
standing
10 merges into count 9. Count 11, 5 years concurrent with count 4. Count 12, making a false statement, 5 years concurrent with count 4. Julia, did I get count 11?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Count 13, making a false statement, 5 years concurrent with count 4. Count 14 merges into count 13.
I'll read 60 days.
Count 15, 5 years concurrent with count 4. Count 16, making a false statement, 5 years concurrent with count 4. Count 17 merges into 16. Count 18, 5 years to serve concurrent with count 4. And false statements, making a false statement, count 19 concurrent with count 4. That is 5 years as well.
Amen, Debbie. Amen.
Is there any issue?
Now Leilani's happy because she knows that she can get out when she's in 30 more years, I guess. But the fact of the matter is, just like Debbie said, BJ can go home, carry on with her life. Her daughter and grandson can't do that. Sit your ass down, Billy Joe. Exactly. It's so weird how Susan Smith had her parole hearing the same week as this monster, Leilani Simon. Neither deserve to call themselves mothers. I agree with you 100%, Whitney. I do. When I saw, because I remember when Susan Smith unalived her two little boys. I was a married woman getting ready to have the next year. I got pregnant and had my first daughter when she did that, and so I remember her crying and acting like that someone unalived her children when she was the very one that did it. And when I seen her crying for herself, I knew it was fake. I just relived what we seen before. BJ should be standing to get sentenced herself. Yes, Tree, I agree on that 100%. I feel like the judge was lenient on her, and I don't know why, but she was. And she really didn't talk a lot about baby Quinton, which I did not like. Um, so, and there's a few more witnesses. This was her aunt that raised her. This is Billy Joe's husband. Y'all want to, and his was kind of sad for him to stand up for her. Let's watch this, y'all. Let's watch Billy Joe's
Shall be
husband.
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Because he acts like he genuinely cares for
Judge.
State your name, please, sir.
Thomas Howell.
Okay. Mr. Howell, how are you related to Miss
I
Simon?
am Leilani's stepfather.
And how long have you been her stepfather?
Well, about going on 12 years.
So not like 2 years ago
No,
or 3
sir.
years ago. So it's been a while.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Amen.
you helped raise her, right?
So, yes.
Okay. And you're married to Billy Joe, just to be clear, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Danny and Leilani and Quinton and Zane and Sky were all living with y'all in October of 2022, correct?
Yes, sir.
And at that point in time, either you and Billy Joe were working or you were at home, right?
Yes, sir.
And just to be clear, how long would y'all be gone when you're out working?
Well, at that time, I was working in Anderson, South Carolina. And so some weekends I'd have to work weekends. So I just stayed there the whole week. The other weekends, when I did only work, we work usually our standard hours is 4 10s. So I'd come home on the weekends and then go back Monday morning.
So it's normally like 4 on, 3 off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then that's what I was trying to get to. So you'd be gone for 4 days and back for 3 days.
Yes, sir. Monday through Thursday. I'd come back Thursday night.
Right. So, and you understand we're here for sentencing today, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also understand the sentencing is limited. I mean, it's either going to be life with parole or life without parole, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I'm asking you to tell the court what you'd like to tell the court about Leilani in fashioning that sentence.
Well, Alani was very smart. In school, she could pretty much take a test and not study for it and pass it. I mean, that's how smart she was. And like I say, when you're not on drugs, you're a totally different person. And Leilani just got into drugs, and it just, I guess maybe you could say, made it somebody different. And pretty much all I'm asking is that she have a chance one day to come out in the world and I understand, but nobody knows what happened to that youngin'. Nothing's been proven what happened to him. And I just would ask for one day she'd be able to walk amongst us. I mean, I probably won't be here. I mean, I'm up in age, but that she'd at least be given one more chance in life instead of just putting her away and throwing away the key.
Anything further you want to add, Mr. Howell?
No, sir.
Mr. Dean might ask some questions.
All right.
Okay.
Sir, I have no questions for you.
All right.
You may sit down, Mr. Howell.
Thank you.
Next is Jackie Madden, Judge.
Jackie Madden.
So I feel like he genuinely cared about baby Quinton, and or he cared about them all, or he wouldn't be taking care of them. He was keeping them at his house and taking care of them. Who's taking care of Zane and Sky now? I think they're in adoptive care, if I'm not mistaken. They feel guilty for being part of the problem, in my opinion. I agree. Next will be Sarah Boone's sentencing. I know. I want to show you some clips though of Susan Smith, the one that put her two little boys in a car and ran them in the river for because her boyfriend, the one that she liked at that time, um, didn't want kids. So she made up this story that a black man came and took her children, and they found out later on, the police did through evidence and stuff, that she unalived her little ones. But first I want to show you the first interview that she did, and she's crying for her babies. And then I want to show you the second interview, the interview now where they took her, where she was up for parole. Now this is her with the babies, the two boys, is father, who was totally innocent in this. And she's talking about, this is a true psychopath. She played it very, very, very well. Very well. She played the innocent part. So here we go.
I do understand why they're having to do what they're doing. I'm all they have. Right now, they have not been able to rule anyone out. I don't think I'm any more of a suspect than anyone in this case right now.
It's very painful to know that anyone would think that either of us had anything to do with this abduction of our children. But me and my wife know the truth.
Oh, I was hoping that one would show where she was crying for the boys. And let me see if I can find the one where this may be the one that she's crying. Hang on, let's see. Where she fake cries and says that someone took her boys. I'll let you play this. I'll play this for you guys here too.
53-year-old Susan Smith was convicted of murder in November of 1994 after intentionally rolling her car into a lake with her toddler and infant inside. Now she's asking for her freedom back. ABC's Morgan Norwood joins me with more on this case. Morgan, this is a case that shocked the country, not only because of what Susan Smith did, but also what she initially said happened.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Diane. I mean, there's a reason that this case is making headlines. I mean, in so many ways, it was one of the original true crime cases, right? Susan Smith convicted of killing her toddler infant, as you pointed out, back in 1994, allegedly to appease her affair partner. But the details of it, it set out an all-out manhunt. She blamed the disappearance on a black carjacker when really she had murdered her kids. So the shock factor of her asking for release is certainly there. Again, she also later confessed to the killings as well. So again, that shock factor still remains even 3 decades later.
So she did confess to it eventually. Okay, so this is her now, and I just feel she's fake, just like she was before. Hang on, y'all. I gotta pull it up.
We're gonna go out.
Hang on, y'all.
So why should this board think that if we grant you parole that you're going to go out and follow the rules and the laws of society if you do not follow the rules within the institution?
Well, this last infraction was trusted the wrong person. This lady contacted me and I trusted her. I thought she was going to do a documentary on mental health, and I really am not guilty of what they charged me with, and I have filed an appeal on that charge. And as far as your question, I've never been in trouble before, and the things that I have been found guilty of in here have been just stupidity. I just made I know I made a lot of mistakes in here, and I have learned from them.
Hey, Rhonda.
And before this last infraction had been 10 years, because I grew up and I knew that I needed to stop making dumb decisions.
Hey, Amy.
And I did.
Hey, Tamara.
I knew it was time to grow up and do the right thing. I just made a lot of dumb choices and mistakes in here. So I know I've learned from those mistakes.
What do you feel is the most
And I'm not
important
gonna
thing
do
that
that.
you've learned? What do you think is the most important thing that you have learned while you have been incarcerated?
That
Hey, Angel Loader.
that people are important, that forgiveness and love, that family is important, and that decisions we make not just affect us, they affect the people that we love. And not to take things or people for granted.
Okay, now I'm going to show you the father and how broken up the father after all these years. The father is very, very sad, and he wants justice for his boys, and he got justice. They didn't grant her parole, but unfortunately, for every 2 years after, she can continue to try to get parole. Here we go. This is the father of the boys.
It's been a tough 30 years. Just here to advocate on Michael and Alex's behalf and as their father. You know, God gives us free choice, and she made free choice that night to end their life. This wasn't a tragic mistake. It wasn't something that she didn't mean to do. She purposely meant to end their life. I never have felt any remorse from her for it. She never expressed any to me. I never seen it on paper. You know, you've heard, she changed my life for the rest of my life that night. Some for the better, some for the worse. But what she did, not only to Michael and Alex, she came pretty close to causing me to end my life because of the grief that she brought upon me. But thankfully she didn't. I understand back in 95 that through the state's law, life in prison meant 30 years to life. And now that's different. But at that time, that's what counts. I understand that. But ultimately, to me, that's only 15 years per child. Her own children. It's just not enough. So I'm asking that you please deny her parole today.
Hey, MC.
And hopefully in the future, but specifically today. Not let her out. I miss them very much. And I love them very much. And I will be here every 2 years going forward to ensure that your death doesn't go in vain.
That is truly sad. So, so sad. That is truly, truly, truly sad. And I hope that this man had the opportunity to be able to be a father to other children too. I don't know. I've not looked him up yet, but hang on. Yeah. Hang on, let me bring up. I gotta bring up another thing before I can, but I do hope that he had the opportunity to be a father again, because he loved his boys so much. Okay, I'm gonna pull up another one here. It is heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. All right, I think this one here is where she acts. This is the act.
Smith, who drowned her 2 little boys, wants out of prison.
What I did was horrible.
53-year-old Smith sobbed as she appeared via video before a parole board in South Carolina today. I don't see tears, says one reporter covering the story. The boy's father, David Smith, was there, accompanied by a large entourage. who all oppose her release. He wore a photo of his sons on his lapel.
Well, I'm asking that you please not her parole today.
In 1994, he stood at her side, believing her story that she had been carjacked by a black man who kidnapped her sons.
I would like to say to whoever, please bring them home.
The shocking truth emerged after 9 days when cops learned Smith had buckled the boys into their kiddie seats and rolled her car into a lake.
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder.
Smith was sentenced to life and became eligible for parole this month. Susan Smith has had a checkered record behind bars. She was accused of having had sex with 2 guards. She was disciplined for drug use. The parole board voted.
Miss Susan Smith is denied parole. The vote is unanimous.
Wow. So she be doing that stuff behind the bars. Okay. I was wondering what she got in trouble for. Well, they just told it, didn't they? She tells how their death affected her life, even though she came along after they passed. Oh yeah, she put on a big old act, and she was crying. I really believed her. I believed her because of the way she was crying and stuff, y'all. I'm not a very good judge sometimes when it comes to stuff, especially when somebody's a good actor. We all can make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes and move on. And so, Susan Smith, I never forgot that she did that to those babies. And I always wondered, because I've just started having children, and I wondered how in the world she could do that at that point. Nowadays, I don't so much, because the world's becoming more and more colder. But back in the 90s, you just didn't hear about people unaliving their kids. Why would the guards have relations with a prisoner? It happens all the time, Rhonda Lynn. All the time. No, the daughter he had after the boys is what I was speaking on. Oh, so he does have a daughter? Okay. Well, good. I'm glad that he went on to be a father, because he was a good dad. I'm thankful Jason won't get parole. I need to let go and let God. I don't know if you can ever let go, Robin, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody could actually let go after what happened to your daughter. I don't get it. I am like that too. I can't believe people are evil like that. Especially back in those, back in the 90s, you didn't really hear of people like unaliving their children, but nowadays they're selling them. They're giving them methamphetamines. They're doing everything in the world. I mean, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible what the parents, like, their parents are just cold anymore. They don't, not all parents, but I'm just saying there's quite a bit. It even happens in prisons for the mentally ill. People are strange. Baby Quinton got his justice today. Yeah, he did get his justice, and he's in heaven with God, y'all. He's not in the grave. Like, his little body, yeah, was in the trash, but God took that baby home with him. These little babies that pass away, they don't know. God takes them immediately. Angels are there to greet them, and God takes them home. I hope those guards are no longer working there. Well, it was just recently, because they said it was just recently. So did she have relations? Because she thought, I don't know, was it Yates that unalived like her 5 kids in a bathtub? Yes, Andrea Yates, though, had mental illness. She was in and out of institutions. She even warned them that she had thoughts of unaliving her children. And she was not supposed to have another baby because she suffered from severe postpartum depression, and her husband got her pregnant again and left her home alone. Andrea Yates was not supposed to be left alone with her children, and her husband left her home with her children. There just wasn't internet back then to bring light to people's evil doings. Hey, Brandy Monkey, how are you? I have a friend who has two boys, and they were the same age at the time of the little boys when that happened. They were upset at work that night. Oh, yeah. Daisy, it's on the news today on I-94, Detroit, Michigan. A man was arrested for a lot of cocaine. Okay. Yeah, I can see that happening. I definitely can see that happening. There's a lot of that stuff going around. Now, when that guy said that cocaine couldn't make Leilani, I do believe that cocaine did have something to do with Leilani's rage. I do believe it did make her rage worse because that stuff is a stimulant, and if she's already suffering from anger issues, then absolutely that's going to make her more dangerous. Andrea Yates' doctor advised no more babies as her postpartum was severe with each child. Yeah, and she had underlying mental illness. I think she had schizophrenia, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Mindy McGee. Yvonne said so many of them find Jesus in prison and jail, then leave Jesus in there when they get out. Yeah. Leilani may change, but I don't know, y'all. If she does, she's going to have to get rid of some demons because you can just sense that she's got a lot of anger balled up inside of her, like extreme anger. I could see her. I mean, she lost it a little bit even in court. You know, sometimes that happens, Mindy. I don't know why it does, but it does happen. But but Andrea Yates, she literally did suffer quite a bit with postpartum depression, schizophrenia. She was not supposed to be left alone with the babies. So, you know, it was her husband's fault, I think, a lot of it. You may have to have something evil in you. Hang on just a second, y'all. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Daisy, I'm not sure if you answered Daisy, but do you know when Megan Boswell's trial is? I have no idea when her trial is. I'd like to cover it, y'all, if I possibly can. But y'all, sometimes I get really tired because, I work too. So it's hard for me to cover. But I do try to come on here and go over these cases and hang out with you guys and stuff. But yeah, postpartum depression or psychosis can be hard. I suffered from postpartum depression. I never thought about hurting my children. I didn't feel too good about myself. Depression. I had gained weight and everything, but I know that I did have a lot of depression postpartum. She's not changing. Leilani has a child. Something putting money on her books. A child predator. Really? How do you know that? Is there really a pedophile that is put? Listen, I wouldn't put nothing past Leilani. I'll be honest with you. But I do think that Danny should have got some accountability for it. But maybe he was asleep. I don't know. Maybe he was. He was good to the kids. So I don't know. Did you see the aunt trying to discredit the neighbor on Leilani's trial? Like she was trying to make it look like the neighbor was lying. They said it in court. Oh, I didn't hear that part. See, she done got her a lover like Gypsy Rose. Got her a lover. That old Gypsy Rose. I'm telling you what, that's one right there that they better be watching when she has that baby. They better be watching. What is it taking so long for Megan not even to get a trial? See, I'm not sure. Yes, that was said today by the detective, Daisy. Oh, okay. See, I didn't watch that part. So that must have been a new part. Wow. Well, you know, she's just going to keep on doing her thing in jail. She'll get her some pen pals and some men giving her money and everything. I mean, allegedly, you've seen there that Susan Smith got caught with some uh alleged messing with security guards. And y'all, that happens a lot. A lot. Hell, one woman got pregnant by what's his name in jail? Hey, Mama Four, how are you? What's her name? Or what's his name? That serial killer, what's his name that was pretty? The good looking serial killer guy. What was his name? They did a movie on him. They snuck a woman in and I guess it was his wife, and let him have relations with her, and she ended up pregnant. So, and he got a daughter while he was in prison. Well, good. I'm glad you're doing okay, Mama Four. So what was his Ted Bundy? Ted Bundy got his woman pregnant while he was in jail. The guards, I guess, was paid off to look away, and they had, S relations in jail. No, not Jeffrey Dahmer. Ted Bundy, yeah. Ted Bundy. So a lot of these people, I could see Leilani actually being somebody like Ted Bundy. If you can unalive your own precious little baby boy that looks just like you could unalive anyone cold-heartedly and not care. Sometimes these cases drag on for years and it's not fair to the family. Yeah, well, look at the Delphi. They found Richard Allen guilty, which I wonder. I didn't get into the trial though, so I don't know what came forward in that trial. But I know they did find him guilty. I don't understand how they are allowed to marry. That's weird as F. I know. Look at Gypsy Rose. She is making a lot, and I thought about that today. I went to the Habitat for Humanity and I thought about, the Habitat for Humanity built her a home. Okay. Her and her mom. And, she's got millions of dollars now because she's got this Lifetime TV series that she's making the bank on. And I wonder if she gives to the Habitat of Humanity since they helped her out in all of these places that gave her and her mother money throughout the years. All of these places. Is Gypsy helping them out? Why not go to St. Jude's and donate to St. Jude's, Gypsy? I mean, all these places, donated to her for years and gave her and her mother thousands of dollars with the lies that Gypsy was sick. I just thought about it. I thought, well, I wonder if Gypsy even donates back now that she's got all this money off of her mom. And you know what? Other people that unalive people don't get to benefit off of the tragedy. Like Dahmer's dad wrote a book about him, and the victims' families profited off that book. He was not allowed to get any of the profit. Now, why is it fair for Gypsy Rose to be profiting off of her mother's death? I don't know. It's just weird. I feel like her mom was a victim. Even though she was a victim and her mom had montasm, she went along with her mom's little game, even though, and I feel like and this is, just my opinion. I feel like she's kind of going down that road again with her daughter because she put that baby's life at risk when she decided to have a DNA run on that baby while the baby was inside of her. And to me, and didn't she sell it? She sold the results. Didn't she sell the results to a news magazine or a a news place? She sold them results. So she's already using that baby for money. She's already using the baby for money. Gypsy, in my opinion, would be the type to go to a Diddy party and to a Diddy after party because she will sell her soul for money. In my opinion, she'd be at the Diddy after party. I really believe it because there are some people that want fame and fortune and money so bad that they will sell their soul. They will sell anything, their children, whoever. I doubt it because her mom abusing the system started when she was like 4 or 5. Gypsy's case is so crazy. But I do see Gypsy going down that same hole. And the baby is not even born yet. Like the first time she announced it, she put up a registry for the baby. Like I heard there was hundreds of dollars for things. And it sold out within what, a day? And she had to keep re-adding stuff. I don't know, y'all. We're just going to watch this and see how it plays out with her. But I see her as a psychopath, in my opinion. She's manipulative and she's all about herself. She should have never got out. I agree. And the way she did her husband Ryan, just walked away from him so cold-heartedly and just ran over to this other guy and then made sure she's going to keep this guy, so she got pregnant by him. I don't know, y'all. I just can see right through her. I think she's very manipulative and very dangerous still. I might be wrong, but oh, I just saw something. What was that I just saw on Plunder? I just saw something. Hang on just a minute. Hang on. I just saw something that sparked my thing. Let me see here. Hang on just a second, y'all. If y'all have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. That helps my channel to grow and helps me to bring y'all more content to the table. I don't know where Jinky's Rumor Has It is at tonight, y'all. Let me see here. I was trying to see. Somebody is covering the Kylie Rodney case. I guess there's photos in there of the car. I'll have to look over that because I'm still wondering about that case myself. They can somehow do a DNA test now by drawing blood from the mother. Somehow they do genetic testing. I hope so. I hope she did not put that baby at risk. I hope that that's the case, but somehow I don't know. I don't see how they could get a DNA out of that baby, off of her from that baby, but maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I still see that. I see, and this is just my opinion. I see a psychopath in her. I think she's still that way. I really do. Let's call Jinky's Rumor Has It and see if she answers her phone. Hang on. She's not answered this phone all evening. So I don't know if she's asleep or what she's doing, but she's not answered the phone all day. Well, it's not answering. Y'all, please don't mention other creators in my chat, please. We don't do that. Just don't mention other creators in my chat, okay? I just don't want to bring drama to this channel when it comes to other creators. So, yeah, if you don't care, don't mention other creators in the chat. Have you text Logan to make sure she's okay? Oh, she's asleep. She's asleep. I talked to her earlier today, but either she's talking to somebody or she's asleep. One. So, yeah. I had to subscribe to your channel like 2 or 3 times lately. It keeps taking me off the list. Yes, it's YouTube that's doing it. I think, in my opinion, I think YouTube does it as a punishment because I'm not putting out content. And I've lost a lot of subscribers. And I'm not losing any on TikTok. In fact, I'm gaining more subscribers. So I really believe some way that YouTube does that because I've quit putting out content. I keep losing subscribers, y'all. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a punishment or what, but I know that people just don't unsubscribe like that. It's, I just don't think that they do. And if that was the case, then why am I not losing people on Facebook or TikTok? Because I've not put out any content on TikTok in the last couple of months, and I've gained people, but all of a sudden I quit putting out, not doing live streams every day, and then here I go losing subscribers, So there's something up with that anyway, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I did a survey today and I'm like, show my videos. I have put out hundreds of videos. And I don't feel like they're being seen. And on my other channel as well, I've put out hundreds of videos. And it just don't grow. And I feel like my videos are just as good as anybody else's on the other channel. So I don't know what YouTube's doing. It's not buffering. Have you heard from Candace? They are doing okay. Yes, Candace sent me a video today of her, and I talked to her the other day. She's working. Her and Don, I seen Don too. I think they're both just working. Is it because you're not making as much money for YouTube as they were making for them? I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe if they would have promote my videos more and put out especially my farm videos. For a minute, I was getting tons of subscribers off my farm videos, and then they just quit. And so you lose heart, like, I share my life with everyone, and I take criticism from a lot of people and abuse. I've been abused horrible on this platform. And to not get any acknowledgement or get views or anything like that, it's really hard to take time out of the days that you have off, to come on YouTube and then just be discouraged by them not showing your videos or, anything like that. I believe she should go to one of his parties. Who? Gypsy Rose? There's so much about Diddy coming out, y'all. There's so much about him that I could go on and on and on and on. And it's a rabbit hole that never ends on P. Diddy. But I wanted to come back to the true crime that I've been doing and talk about Leilani Simon and these other cases as well. Yeah, it's sad. It's very, very sad, y'all. Subs are fickle, Daisy, but you always have your loyal peeps. That is true, Debbie Nelson. It is true. But I do feel like that YouTube don't put my videos out like they should. And when I did my survey, I told them about it too. Like, put my videos out. Like, I have hundreds of videos. I have posted over the last 3 years hundreds of videos. Why ain't they being shown? And maybe, okay, so maybe people don't like my true crime stuff, But I know people like animal videos, and I've put some pretty good animal videos out. And so I've lost heart. I'm losing heart with it. I'm totally losing heart with it. And I mean, I'm not going to stoop as low as these other creators that harass and bully people, uh, victims of that has children missing and everything. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go to people's house and scream at people. That's just not me. That's not my style. And I'm not fighting with other YouTubers anymore. I don't want to fight with people. I want to live out the rest of my life in peace. I want to get on here and talk about these true crime cases and be with you all and hang out with you all and be in peace and not be fighting with people all the time. And usually drama does sell when it comes to true crime. But I'm not going to be a part of that. That is too much stress, too much aggravation, and it just leaves you feeling empty inside. So I want to be happy, and I want to talk about God and happy things, and I like to talk about these cases. I like to deep dive into these cases. I wish that I could have went on and talked about the Delphi case. I didn't even get to listen to any of the trial or find out anything about the trial. But that case has, I hope one day they make a movie. If ever they were going to make a movie, the Delphi case is definitely movie material. That's what I want to say, because the Delphi case is creepy, in my opinion. And now I don't know for sure if I really believe that Richard Allen did do something to those girls, or if there was something much bigger than them girls. So bigger, there was much of bigger, like the cult that they talked about. Y'all know I'm a rabbit hole. I think I might even make another YouTube channel just talking about conspiracies and rabbit holes. There are many creators like you, Daisy. They won't lower their morals for social media. YouTube is evil place. The fight between good and evil is real. Amen, Debbie Nelson. Amen. That is very, very, very true. Very true. And especially when you work hard and you're genuinely tired, and then you come on here on your time off to hang out with people and stuff, and like you get discouraged because you feel like, I don't know, your videos ain't been shown. Right now it's too cold to really do outdoor videos or animal videos. But I am working on buying a chicken coop, a good one, for my hens and my guineas. So I had to go out and buy me a dozen of eggs today. I shouldn't have to go out and buy eggs when I have chickens, when I have hens. So they're laying somewhere, but we can't find them. So is anybody else tomato plants still growing even after the frost? My cherry tomato plants are thriving even after this frost, y'all. Is anybody else doing that? And listen, there are hundreds of them out there on the vines, and them damn chickens snob them. So yeah, I haven't seen Peanut in so long. Mine are growing, but they aren't received a frost yet in West Tennessee. Yeah, mine hasn't really took on the frost, even though it was cold last night. I think it did frost. Mine are still alive. I have 35 chickens and only get 6 to 8 eggs a day. It's because of the cold weather, I think. Okay. It could be, but if I buy them a big chicken coop and make it nice and good and cuddly and warm in there for them to snuggle down and lay their eggs, I might get more eggs. I mean, I'm thinking about buying a custom one made. There's a man down the road that makes them, and they're really nice. They're made out of pressure treated wood, and they even got hen boxes in them. And I'm considering saving up my money and getting one of them for my chickens. So I follow some farm channels. Tomatoes are still growing. They've brought them indoors because of it. Well, I picked some cherry tomatoes yesterday, but there's hundreds growing out there still. And I have my greenhouse. It's quite warm in there. I just got to get my husband to go out there and water them. So, yeah. But I'm going to have to rig up my side by side to be a little warmer. Like I bought some white plastic, so I'm thinking about wrapping it in. There's Dolly in the back row. Oh, so she must be just watching it. So I'm thinking about like wrapping the back part of it up in white plastic, and maybe even making some little doors on the sides of it to keep it warm when I drive it around, to keep the wind. Because it was cold today when I tried to drive it. I put the windshield on, but it was still really cold today. So, yeah. Still really cold. My husband built my coop, and I love it. Keeps them safe with wires over the ranging area, too. Hey, my 3 sons, how are you? Is Peanut still gone? My daughter feeds 5 to 6 raccoons every night. I told her about Peanut. She reminds me of you with those raccoons. I have not actually been up there enough to look for Peanut. I've not went up there and sat. I'm actually thinking about putting a small building up there so I can just kind of hang out at night on the porch with them. So, yeah, I'm really thinking about doing that. But I don't know about Peanut. The winter's just so, there's no daylight left. I mean, the daylight's gone in no time. Hey, Julianne, how are you? It's getting cold. It's just very sad time of the year, you guys. It's sad. It's no wonder people get depressed. And I didn't even put my Christmas ornaments up. I just got most of my fall stuff put up. There's a few things out, but I don't know. I'm getting a little discouraged. I don't know. I hate that about your farm channel. Oh, you talking about my other my farm channel? Yeah, I lost that one. Basically, YouTube ain't even gonna give me like an option to even try to get that back. And the bait it all, I don't even know why I lost that channel. I'm still confused about it. I guess fussing with everybody did it. I don't know. They said it was content or something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. Who knows? But I do know I'm going to be doing a lot of camping up there this summer coming. I want to do some camping. I haven't put my trees up yet. I'm so tired from work. I'm going to have to make time, I guess. Me too. I've not done mine either. Have one of them sad lights. I love it. Well, I try to get outside, and I've got my greenhouse this winter, so I may try to just hang out in my greenhouse if I have to. Actually, I've been looking at like big greenhouses. I'm not used to this cold anymore. I've been miserable, but I go home Saturday. Okay, where are you at right now, Debbie? Yeah, people in California is not used to the cold weather or the humidity. And the humidity is really, really high in the South, especially during the winter or during the summer. We have a very high humidity. It feels like 2 in the morning already. I know, and it's just 10 o'clock. It's a very, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just makes you feel like, I don't know. Miss Daisy, when you feel depressed, remember Trump won. Okay, I will. But the thing that's going on right now is are they going to declare martial law? Are there going to be a war? Is Trump even going to have a chance to serve? I'm just, I don't know. Until he's inaugurated, I don't know how I feel. Like, everything's just too quiet right now. Everything's just quiet. Did y'all see that where Ellen DeGeneres left the country? And she says it's because of Trump, but I think it's because of Diddy. Everybody else says they think it's because of P. Diddy too, because things are getting ready to come out and she knows she can't be prosecuted in another country because she said she's never coming back to the United States again. Good, bon voyage to her. See, in over there in England where she moved at, they can't touch her in the United States. So I don't know. If she is on those tapes, she's scared. And I don't believe for a minute it's because of Trump. I think a lot of them are leaving the country because they're scared that they're going to be on video hurting little children. You know what I mean? And I do believe that, in my opinion, that Ellen DeGeneres was one of them that was in the trafficking ring. That's just my opinion. And because I seen some photos in her house that she had up on the wall that looked like a child had drawn, and it was creepy, and it had like places in the private areas of that it was like a person, and it had like X's and scratches in the private area. It was really creepy, and you could tell. I believe wholeheartedly that Ellen DeGeneres is a pedophile. That's my opinion of her. So, peace out, Ellen. Take your friend Whoopi with you. I know a lot of people don't like Whoopi Goldberg. Listen, I used to adore Whoopi Goldberg. I used to love her. I really did. I had so much high respect for her and so much love for her as an actress, but not anymore. Not anymore. Same thing goes with Oprah Winfrey. Same thing goes with Tom Hanks. Same thing goes with Denzel Washington, Will Smith, all these pedophiles that I used to watch and think that they were the best people in the world. Will Ferrell, all of them. All of them. I don't watch their movies no more. I don't listen to their music. No, all respect has been lost with them. The View is one of the worst shows on TV. I don't even see how they can do it. Even do it. My granddaughters just came in. They said, "Why am I talking to a cow?" That's funny, Debbie. Miss Daisy, I love going down those rabbit holes. I think we need to know. I do too. And now everybody's actually speaking out. Hang on just a second, y'all. Okay, I'm back, y'all. But more and more people are coming out. More and more things are coming out since this Diddy thing. Um, and I'm not making this one about all that, but more and more people are coming out about these celebrities. Hollywood is going through some good changes. Hopefully, I hope so too, because there is true talented people out there. They really are. There is truly talented people out here that can sing and act and don't have to sell their souls or do horrific things to become famous. Hang on just a second, okay? Hey, I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. Now, everyone on the news is talking crap about Trump picks for his cabinet. They aren't really talking about him. I don't know. They're just too quiet. I feel like they've got something up their sleeve. They're just being too quiet about it. That's what I think anyway. I could be very wrong, but I don't know. They're just too quiet about it, y'all. So yeah. I don't know where Jinky's rumor has it is. She's out somewhere and about. It's still early. I'd say more likely she's either in the bed or on the couch asleep. Because this is usually her usual sleep time. This is a test, guys. It's going to get worse. Satan will not give up, but with Jesus will be fine. Have faith. Yes, ma'am. Biden is starting World War III. That's what I'm worried about. But they know Biden is leaving, and the president of Russia is friends with Trump. So hopefully they'll hold out until Trump becomes president. I think they are wanting the Russian president to become to start a war, but I don't think that he's going to do it because he's actually friends with Trump and he knows what they're trying to do. They're trying to do an insurrection, in my opinion. That's how I feel, that they're trying to do an insurrection. But I might be wrong. I'm just saying that's just how I feel. World War III, insurrection, all that. I don't know. Hang on just a second. Y'all. So let's see. Hey Tracy, how are you? But who knows? But guys, I've been on here for 2 hours. I wanted to cover the Leilani trial. I might come back later on tonight and do a late night live stream with you guys. I'm going to try to stay up tonight if I can, but I'm going to go find Jinky's rumor has it and find out what she's doing. Oh, Saltwater! Hello, thank you so much, Saltwater. Thank you. Can't stay. I'm with Mom. I have missed y'all. Thank you for your prayers for my mom. Please keep praying. Yes, y'all. Please keep praying for Saltwater's mom. In Jesus' name, we declare, we decree healing, and we rebuke the spirit of infirmity on Saltwater's mom in Jesus' name. And we're declaring healing in her name and peace and comfort and strength for Saltwater and her mother as they go through this hard process and battle for her life. Thank you so much, Saltwater, and I am going to continue to pray. And I do think about you quite a bit and your mom. And we're going to continue to pray. Thank you for that super chat. Let me go on here and like it and love it and everything. Thank you so much. And I'm completely praying for you and your mom. And we love you here on the farm. Let me see if it'll let me say thank you in the chat. Sometimes it lets me do that too. Okay, here we go. There we go. Thank you, and we love you. Thank you so much, Saltwater, for supporting my channel. God bless you so much. And I am praying for you and your mama. For sure. Yes, y'all, please say a prayer for Saltwater and her mother. Keep praying for her. God's going to get her through this just like she got Christine through it. Christine's almost through this battle herself. Jesus, put your healing hands on Saltwater's mother and heal her body in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Saltwater, for supporting my channel. Much love, Daisy, and hope Jinkies is okay. Daisy, have you heard from Marita? I'm sure Marita's in the bushes somewhere. She's just not showing up right now. But I love you guys, and thank you so much, Saltwater. And God bless you guys. But listen, I might come back on here in a little while. Oh, Saltwater, you didn't have to do that. She gifted 10 memberships. Woohoo! Saltwater, thank you. Riley's Nanny, Jimmy from the Bayou, Nana for Life, Sherry, Connie Branch, Brainworms, Grammy Roasters, Justin for All, Raindrops, and Ella. Woohoo! Thank you, Saltwater. God bless you. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for gifting those memberships. God bless you for that. And thank you for the $10 super chat or the $50 super chats. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. And welcome everybody that got memberships. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Saltwater. And we are praying for you. And guys, I'm going to try to come back and we might do a chit chat. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to have to get my cowbell back out and ring it when everybody does it. Thank you so much, Saltwater. God bless you. And we might even talk about Kensington tonight. We might do a Kensington live tonight. I don't know for sure. We're going to try to wheel Marita back a little bit because I miss her. So we may do a Kensington. We might just do a regular chat. But I'm going to try to go find Jinkies and maybe come back. But I want to thank Saltwater and everybody else that donated to my channel tonight. I love you guys. I want to thank you guys for coming here, supporting me, watching my channel, being a subscriber. I love you guys so much. And I will be back tomorrow or tonight, or try to be back tonight and do another live. I don't really like to mix other things in, like where I'm talking about Leilani on this one. That's why I'd like to start another live later, just so we can have a general talk and stuff. So, yes, please pray for Saltwater. Continue prayers for Christine and everybody else out there that needs prayers during these holiday seasons and these rough times. And we know that God's ultimately in control and that God promises us life and abundance of life, and that the spirit of infirmity is in Cancer. So we will rebuke that in Jesus' name. Christine is in remission, and we declare and decree that Saltwater's mother is going to be in remission as well. I love you guys. Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all stay safe out here on these YouTube streets. They're gangster. I'll try to be back after a while to try to do another live if I can find Jesus. I love you guys. God bless you. Stay prayed up. I love you.